Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama
Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama
was the first person to successfully sail from Europe.
Was the first person to successfully sail from Europe
around Africa to Southeast Asia.
Around Africa to Southeast Asia.
Vasco da Gama was the one who opened up the maritime.
Vasco da Gama was the one who opened up the maritime
trade route between Europe
and
Asia. In my view, his going through the South Atlantic
in my view, is going through the South Atlantic
and around the Cape was equivalent to Arctic.
And around the Cape was equivalent to putting a man on the moon.
Born to a noble family in Sines, Portugal.
Born to a noble family in Sines, Portugal.
Around 1469. Vasco da Gama took to the sea at an early age.
Vasco da Gama took to the sea at an early age.
Vasco da Gama worked on merchant ships in the
Vasco da Gama worked on merchant ships
King service, learning how to be a
in the King service, learning how to be a
navigator, learning all of the things that he would later need to know in order to
learning all the things that he would later need to know in order to command
an expedition.
An expedition.
Gama earned a commission to find a sea route to
The Gama earned a commission to find a sea route
to India and set sail
to India and set sail
with a four-ship expedition
in
July 1497.
In July 1497.
From Lisbon down the coast of Africa.
From Lisbon down the coast of Africa.
So the prevailing winds move north, you're trying to
you were trying to
sail south. Da Gama
sail south.
Sailed out into the Atlantic.
Da Gama sailed out into the Atlantic.
Basically almost as far as Brazil.
Almost as far as Brazil.
Once there, Da Gama was able to use the prevailing southern winds.
Once there, Da Gama was able to use the prevailing southern winds
to take him south past Africa. What's historic about Da Gama's voyage?
What's historic about Da Gama voyage?
Around the Cape of Good Hope.
Around the Cape of Good Hope.
Is precisely that.
Da
Gama figured out
how to do
this. He is the
first one
successfully
to get into the Indian Ocean, work
his way up the coast of East Africa and ultimately reach India.
Work his way up the coast of East Africa, ultimately reach India.
The water route from Europe to Asia was very
The water route from Europe to Asia was very
because it gave direct access to the spices of the Far East.
Important because it gave direct access to the spices of the Far East.
Vasco da Gama is welcomed as a hero on his
Vasco da Gama is welcomed as a hero
return to Lisbon to 1499.
On his return to Lisbon to 1499.
Because the profits made from the goods
that he brought back from
India demonstrated the wealth that could be achieved from this new route. Linking Portugal directly with
Indian Ocean markets.
Da Gama covered more than 24,000 miles in his historic trip to India, and of the 170 original crew members, only 54 made it home alive. In 1502, 1,000 miles in his
Indian Ocean markets.
Da Gama covered more than 24,000
Da Gama covered more than 24,000
miles in his historic trip to
India.
And of the 170 original crew members,
And of the 170 original crew members,
only 54 made it home alive.
only 54 made it home alive.
In 1502, King Manuel tapped da Gama
In 1502, King Manuel tapped da Gama
to lead this larger expedition
to lead this larger expedition
to again initiate trade
to again initiate
directly between Portugal and the spice markets
trade directly between Portugal and spice markets
of India.
of India.
This expedition, from the Portuguese point of view, is
From the Portuguese point of view, is a success.
a success because
Success.
da Gama is able to force his way
Because da Gama is able to force his way
into the markets.
into the markets,
And when I say force,
and when I say force,
I mean using cannons
I mean using cannons
to literally
to literally
blast his way
blast his way
into the harbor and force
into the harbor and force
the rulers to trade with him.
the ruler to trade with.
Upon da Gama's return to Portugal 2 years later,
Upon da Gama's return to Portugal 2 years later,
he retired from exploration
he retired from exploration
and became King Manuel's
and became King Manuel's advisor.
advisor. However, in 1524,
However, in 1524,
the new king, John III, persuaded him to return to India
the
to become its vice.
the new king John III persuaded him to return to India to become its viceroy.
He died in India in 1538.
He died in India in 1538
Because Vasco da Gama found this route to India,
because Vasco da Gama found the route to India.
he succeeded in making Portugal
He succeeded in making Portugal
a principal supplier
a principal supplier
of high profit luxury commodities like
of high-profit luxury commodities like peppers
pepper to the European market.
to the European markets.
This in turn made the Portuguese state
This in turn made the Portuguese state extremely
extremely wealthy and turned Portugal into a great
wealthy and turned Portugal into a great power.
Mark Twain is now thought of as America's first celebrity